Have you ever pondered what chain of events led the world into its deadliest conflict, World War II? The seeds of this monumental war were sown in the aftermath of the First World War. The Treaty of Versailles, meant to ensure peace, ended up stoking the fires of resentment, particularly in Germany, burdened with crippling reparations and territorial losses. Meanwhile, the specter of fascism began to rise in Europe. In Italy, Benito Mussolini seized power, promising to restore the nation to its former glory. Across the Alps, Adolf Hitler, exploiting the grievances of the German people, ascended to power with his Nazi party, vowing to overturn the Treaty of Versailles. Simultaneously in the east, Japan, fueled by ambitions of imperial expansion, invaded Manchuria, defying the League of Nations. This aggressive act marked the beginning of Japan's path to war. These events set the stage for a conflict that would engulf the entire world. In 1939, the world watched in horror as Germany invaded Poland, sparking the beginning of World War II. It was an era marked by the deafening roars of gunfire and the chilling silence that always followed. The early years of the war saw a domino effect, with nations falling one after the other. France, once a beacon of culture and sophistication, fell under the dark shadow of the swastika. The Battle of Britain followed soon after, as the skies of London filled with the ominous hum of enemy aircraft. Every night was a symphony of fear and courage as the city held its breath, waiting for dawn. Meanwhile, in the heart of Germany, the Holocaust had begun. Innocent lives were extinguished in the millions, their stories reduced to whispers in the wind. By 1941, the world was fully consumed by war, with the attack on Pearl Harbor drawing the United States into the fray. In 1942, the tides of war began to shift. The world watched as monumental battles unfolded, shaping the trajectory of the war. The Battle of Stalingrad, a bloody conflict on the Eastern Front, marked a significant setback for the Axis powers. The Soviet Union's successful defense of the city demonstrated their resilience and strategic prowess, striking a blow to Hitler's ambitions of conquest. Meanwhile, halfway around the globe, the Battle of Midway challenged the momentum of the Japanese Imperial Navy. The United States, demonstrating exceptional strategic planning and execution, succeeded in a decisive victory that drastically altered the Pacific theater. Simultaneously, the Allied invasion of North Africa, known as Operation Torch, marked the first major offensive by the Allied forces against the Axis powers, indicating a shift in strategy and momentum. These victories signaled a turning point in the war, but the conflict was far from over. In 1944, the Allies launched the largest amphibious invasion in history, storming the beaches of Normandy. The D-Day invasion, as it came to be known, marked a significant turning point in the war. It signaled the beginning of the end for the Axis powers, as Allied forces made their relentless push towards Germany. As we moved into 1945, the end of the war was in sight. The Soviet Union advanced from the east, while the Allies pushed from the west. The once mighty German resistance was crumbling. In April, the Battle of Berlin saw the city encircled and bombarded. Hitler's reign of terror came to a chilling end in a bunker beneath the besieged city. Meanwhile, in the Pacific, the United States had been steadily island-hopping closer to Japan. The decision was made to use a new, terrifying weapon to bring the war to a swift conclusion. In August, 2 atomic bombs were dropped on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The devastation was unimaginable. The Japanese government, recognizing the futility of further resistance, surrendered. On September 2nd, aboard the USS Missouri, Japanese representatives signed the formal surrender documents. The deadliest conflict in human history had finally come to an end. The world breathed a collective sigh of relief, but the joy was tempered by the immense cost of victory. In the aftermath of the war, the world was forever changed. Nations were left in ruins, millions of lives were lost, and the geopolitical landscape was dramatically reshaped. The United Nations was founded in an effort to prevent such a catastrophe from happening again. However, tensions between the victorious powers soon led to the emergence of a new conflict, the Cold War. World War II had ended, but its impact would be felt for generations to come. The lessons learned from this tragic chapter in our history continue to shape our world today, reminding us of the cost of conflict and the value of peace.